Hey guys, I'm T and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, we make trendy and fun crochet tutorials twice a week, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to join in on the fun. Today's tutorial is for a quick and easy cowl neck hood with lots of texture via the Alpine Stitch. The perfect little make for weekend warriors for those of us who enjoy smaller projects. Speaking of, by now y'all already know the drill, but just in case you're new, modern crochet tutorials and patterns are here for all sizes, with even more dropping twice weekly, so consider clicking the bell to subscribe and you'll never miss an upload. Also, do me a huge favor and give this video a big thumbs up if you like it, or 2 thumbs down if you don't. Either way, it's a great way to show support so I can keep putting out free tutorials every Wednesday and Sunday. Now, it's time to get on the show, so without further ado. For this project, any category 4 yarn will work, but I used a total of 175 grams of yarn. That's 400 yards if you're stateside. As for tools, a 6mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, and a tape measure. There is a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order, and enter this week's pattern giveaway by telling us if you have a song that gets you hype and inspired. Mine would have to be from Hamilton, and it is the song Nonstop. Details for the giveaway down below. We're using 4 stitches for this project, and they'll be as follows. Chain, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and extended half double crochet. This tutorial is made for size small, but we can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video, so let's get started. Getting this hood started, we're all going to grab our category 4 yarn and make a slip knot. Then we're all going to grab our 6mm hook and start off by making a chain the height that we'd like for the turtleneck to be, keeping in mind that it will be folded in half. Now I'd like for my total to be just about 6.5 inches or 16 centimeters, so I'm going to start by making a chain 25, and I actually already have this portion of my turtleneck completed, so I'm just going to do a small sample size. Once we have our chain, we're all going to block off that last chain and do a chain 3. That chain 3 doesn't count as a stitch, that's our turning chain. Then we're all going to do an extended half double crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook into that chain that we blocked off, or the 4th chain from our hook. So bring your hook down, into that chain, yarn over, pull through. When we have 3 loops on our hook, we're going to yarn over, pull through the first loop, for 3 loops on our hook again, then yarn over, pull through all 3. And that is our extended half double crochet. Let's do another one. Yarn over, insert your hook into that following stitch, yarn over, pull through. We're going to yarn over, pull through just the first loop to still have 3 loops on our hook, then yarn over, pull through all 3. Continue with 1 extended half into every chain. We've just made our way down with our row 1. Now we're going to do more extended half double crochets. So at the end of every row, we're all going to chain 3. That doesn't count as a stitch, that's our turning chain. Flip our work, then just put 1 extended half double into every stitch. So just to do the next, yarn over. Insert your hook into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that's it. From here, we're going to continue with 1 extended half double crochet into every stitch. At the end of the row, chain 3 and repeat. We're going to continue to repeat this row with no increases and no decreases until we have a portion that can stretch around our head. Then I'll meet everyone back right after an odd number row. Then we can seam it and get started on the hood together. So we are back. I have just completed the width of my turtleneck. Now I have a total of 35 rows. Now this width is just about 17 inches or 42 centimeters that is unstretched, and now we're going to seam everything together. But right before we do the seam, we do want to make sure that we're inserting our stitch marker into the 1 middle row that we have, making sure that it's on the opposite side from our hook. Since I have a total of 35 rows, I inserted my stitch marker into the 19th row. Now that our stitch marker is into place, we're going to fold our work in half, insert our hook into the corner stitch of both the front and the back panel, and do a single crochet seam. So yarn over, pull through everything. what we're going to do is find that first stitch into the front panel. So insert, next stitch into the back panel, insert, and single crochet around everything. Let's do that again. Next stitch into the front panel, next stitch into the back, and single crochet, and just continue doing this till we don't have any more stitches left. So we are back. We have just completed seaming up our turtleneck together. Now from here, we're going to single crochet along the bottom of our piece so we can clean it up and then get started on our hood. So once we have made our way all the way down, all we're going to do is chain 1, then put 2 single crochets into every side row. So finding our first side row, this is mine right here. I'm going to find that top loop and insert with 2 single crochets. So there's 1, there's 2. Into that next, there's 1, there's 2, and that's it. We're going to continue doing this, making our way all the way around. Now once we reach our side row with our stitch marker into it, 2 single crochets are still going to be worked into there, but make sure we're inserting a stitch marker into each of those 2 stitches because those are going to be our 2 middle stitches. Now, just as a really quick tip, the single crochet row will be as wide as this portion can stretch, so once one is completed, try our piece on. If it's a little too tight, reduce some stitches with a looser grip, or if it's too loose, you do some stitches with a tighter grip. So we are back. We have just single crocheted along the entirety of the bottom. We did insert our stitch markers into our 2 middle stitches. Now from here, we're going to fold our work in half and get started on our hood. So we want to make sure that we're looking at our single crochet seam that we did for the turtleneck. And we're just going to fold that single crochet seam in on itself. Then we're going to look at our 2 middle stitches. We're all going to start with a half double crochet row into the back loops only. So insert your hook into our left stitch marker stitch. We want to make sure that we're working into the left side or showing the front of our half double crochet row because the alpine stitches that we're going to do isn't reversible. So we're going to insert it into that back loop, then working towards the left, 1 back loop half double crochet into every stitch. Once when our hook is into our stitch marker stitch, we're going to pull through and do a chain 2. Now that chain 2 doesn't actually count as a stitch. We just need the height. We're going to start by inserting our first half double crochet into that same stitch that our chain 2 is in, because remember that chain 2 didn't count as a stitch, and we want to make sure that we insert it into that back loop. Again, yarn over. Into that next available stitch, we're going to insert into that back loop, or the loop that's furthest away from us, pull through 3, and that's it. From here, continue with 1 back loop half double crochet into every stitch, then I'll meet everyone back once we're worked into our following stitch marker stitch. So we've just made our way all the way around with our back loop half double crochet row, and we have worked into our following stitch marker stitch. Now our following row is going to be a single crochet row, so chain 1 and flip. From here, simply put 1 single crochet into every stitch, then I'll meet you back at the end of the row. So we are back. We have just completed our row 2. Now we're going to get started on our first alpine stitch row. So from here, we're all going to chain 2 and flip. Now all we're going to do is alternate between a half double and front post double. So our row 3 is going to start with 1 half double crochet, so yarn over into that first stitch with a half double crochet, pretty simple. Now we're going to do a front post double, so yarn over. Now all of our post stitches will be worked into our previous odd number row. So since we're working our row 3, we're going to be inserting our hook into our row 1. So taking a look at our row 1, we're going to find that first half double crochet. We're going to skip that one because the half double crochet that we just did kind of sits directly on top of that one. Oh, and we also want to make sure that we're not counting that chain 2. So into that second half double crochet from our row 1, we're going to insert with a front post double. So we're going to yarn over, like I said, insert your hook underneath the body of that half double crochet and through the other side. Then from here, yarn over and pull through. When we have these 3 loops on our hook, we do want to make sure that we're pulling up nice and tall to get the same height as our half double crochets. Then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now it's just going to be a half double, front post double to reach the end of the row, so let's do this again. Yarn over, preparing for a half double. Now we are going to skip 1 stitch from our previous row because this front post double counts as that stitch. So inserting your hook into that next with 1 half double, then a front post double. So yarn over. We are going to skip 1 stitch from our previous odd number row because that half double is directly on top of that one. So into that next with a front post double. So underneath, pull through, pull up tall, pull through 2, pull through 2. And from here, that's it. We're going to continue 2 half double crochet and front post double crochet until you reach the end of the row. Now as a quick tip, the last stitch of this row is going to be a front post double crochet. But just to make sure the end of the row stays nice and secure, I will meet you guys back to do that last stitch together. So we've made our way all the way down with our row 3. Our last stitch is going to be a front post double crochet, but just to make sure that it's secured down, we are going to combine it with a half double. So yarn over, and inserting our hook into the last half double crochet from our row 1, we're going to insert our hook underneath, yarn over, pull through. When we have these 3 loops on our hook, pull up tall, we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Now when we have these 2 loops on our hook, we're all going to yarn over, insert our hook into that last stitch from our previous row. So insert, yarn over, and pull through for a total of 4 loops on our hook. Then yarn over and pull through 4, and that is going to be how we always close off our row that ends with a front post double. Now this row is complete. Our following row, which is our row 4, is going to be a single crochet row, so chain 1, flip our work, and put 1 single crochet into every stitch. We are back and our row 4 is complete. Now let's get started on our row 5, so chain 2 and flip. Now our row 5 is going to be a front post double, half double, so we're still doing the same stitches as our row 3, but our stitches will be staggered from our previous Alpine Stitch row to get the texture that we want. So taking a look at our row 3, that first stitch that we have is a half double. We're never going to put a half double on top of a half double. We're always going to work a front post double into the half double. So yarn over, into that first half double from our previous odd number row, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. When we have these 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull up tall, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we're going to half double, so yarn over. Skip 1 stitch from our previous row because that front post double counts as that stitch, then into the next with a half double. Now it's going to be front post double, half double to reach the end of the row. So just to do the next set of stitches together again, we're going to yarn over. Preparing for front post double, we're going to insert our hook underneath the body of the half double crochet from our previous odd number row, pull through, pull up tall, pull through 2, pull through 2, then to do our half double, yarn over, skipping 1 stitch from our previous row because this front post double counts as that stitch, and into the next with a half double. And from here, continue to do our front post double, half double to reach the end of the row. Now the last stitch in this row will be a half double crochet, so just continue on with that and I'll meet you back once when this row is completed. So we've just made our way all the way around with our row 5, and now our row 6, which every even number row for this section is going to be a single crochet row. So chain 1, flip our work, and put 1 single crochet into every stitch. Then I'll meet you back at the end of the row. So we are back. We have just completed the first 6 rows of our Alpine Stitch hood. Now from here, it is going to be a repeat of rows 3 through 6 until we get the total height of the hood that we want. So I'm just going to get started on the following row with you just as a quick refresher, then leave the rest up to you. So what we're going to do is chain 2 and flip. So we're about to get started on a row 7. Taking a look at our previous Alpine Stitch row, it starts with a front post double. So we're going to put a half double into that first stitch. So insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. Then that next stitch from our previous Alpine Stitch row is a half double, so we're always going to work a front post double into there. So underneath, pull through, pull up tall, pull through 2, pull through 2, and that's it. Continue on with our half double, front post double to reach the end of the row, and just remember, if the last stitch of the row is a front post double, it will end with a front post double that is combined with a half double just to secure everything down. Continue on with repeating rows 3 through 6 until we get the total height of the hood that we want, and I'll meet everyone back right after an Alpine Stitch row so we can seam everything together. So we are back. We have just completed the height of our hood. Now I have a total of 53 rows. This height is just about 14 inches or 35 centimeters. Now from here, we're going to seam everything up. So we're going to start by flipping our work wrong side out so we can do the same single crochet seam that we did for the turtleneck. So now that our work is flipped wrong side out, we're now just going to do the same exact single crochet seam that we did for the turtleneck. Once we don't have any more stitches left to work into, do a chain up 1 and cut. So we are back and we have just completed seaming up our hood. Now the last thing we're going to do is simply single crochet along the edge of our hood just to clean everything up. So making sure that our work is flipped right side out, right side up. We're going to insert our hook into the same stitch that our stitch markers are in, or if you already took them out, the same stitch that one edge of our hood is in. We're going to insert our yarn onto our hook, pull through, do a chain up of 1 just to secure, Then simply put 1 single crochet into every side row, but we do want to make sure that we're using a medium to loose grip when we're doing this. So just finding our first side row, this is mine right here, I'm going to find that top loop and insert with 1 single crochet. This is my following side row, which is a side single crochet row right here. I'm going to find that top loop and insert with just 1. We're going to continue with just 1 single crochet, making our way all the way up and over. Then once we have, we're going to slip stitch into that following stitch marker stitch into the base, then do a chain of 1 and cut. So we are back. We have just completed single crocheting along the entirety of our hood, and we are now all done. Now the last thing I have to do is simply weave in all of our ends. And there you have it, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Join us on Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter. Those links are down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Catch you on the next one. Bye!